Cooper, you've been part of this club, those great Friars roasts. This is a big event, isn't it?
It is, because what they really don't know is Columbus really had the Friars. It was called Friars Schmuck. He had on top of the boat, and he told a couple of jokes, and from there on, and somebody said, what are we going to do? Well, we'll wait for another couple hundred years, and then we'll have a club. And it's wonderful. It's a great hangout, a lot of nice people, and it's a very, very interesting museum is what I call it. Because when you walk in here, without all this hullabaloo, you feel Milton Berle here, you feel Fat Jackie Leonard, Henny Young Men's, and all these kind of guys. You feel it if you're a comedian, you know, and it's a nice feel. And comedy, this place is comedy. You got to have lawyers and doctors coming here. Yeah. No sense of humor. When I walk in here, then they all think they're comics. I never think I'm a lawyer. I don't think I'm a butcher or anything. I'm a comedian. I comede. That's my job. I comede. What do you do for a living? I comede. What do you do? I'm a plumber. Then you pipe. You're a piper. That's it. So that's what I do. When you come in here, some of them think that because they belong to the Fry, they're in the show business. They're nowhere.
I know, isn't that something?
But you know something? This is what the club does to you. It makes you feel you're part of show business.
Hey, Pat, any memories? Because we're talking about the 100th anniversary.
Yeah.
You've been in so many of the roasts.
I did 10 in a row. I closed 10 in a row.
Any memories? Any memories from those
yes,
great
absolutely.
events?
See, that's a kind of a thing that people got to understand. You can say anything and not really mean it, but it's the doors are open, okay? I roasted Richard Pryor, so I went on last. And my opening line to Richard Pryor is, Rich, you know, no disrespect, when are you going to die? And he looked at me and said, you know, Italians, we know how to die. We have a dish of pasta, we let down and die. No, not you. You got to burn yourself first. You got to put needles in your arm. Would you do me a favor? Why don't you die right now and you'll be a bigger star than you are? Well, he screamed because that's what you say. But he knows I wouldn't mean that, and I have a high respect for him. The audience went crazy. But that's the kind of thing that you can say. And that's the kind of thing that comedians understand. You know, if someone, God forbid, passes away, you say something funny, like when Alan King, Billy Crystal said a few funny things, and you try to think nice of the people. And that's it. This is what it's all about. That's what the roasts are all about. And, you know, D. Martin got the credit for a lot of roasts, and all due respect. But the true roasts were here. I mean, you had the George Burns, the Milton Berle. I mean, I work with these guys. You talk about intelligentsia. The young kids today are wonderful, but they do their act on the days. You're not supposed to do your act. You got to entertain the guy that you're supposed to be roasting. Now they got Donald Trump coming up. Guaranteed, you have a lot of the guys go out there and do their act. You're not supposed. You're supposed to tease Donald Trump. There's 9,000 things you can talk about Donald Trump. Just talk about his haircut.
Hey, Pat, I've witnessed a number of those 13 roasts that you've been part of.
Right.
And when you take that stage, you bring down the house.
Well, you know, can I tell you something? It's war up there. If you bomb, they will remind you for the rest of your life. If you do sensational, they tell you once, that's the end of it. So they're all waiting, you know, it's competitive. Everybody's working to see how bad you're going to do, how good you're going to do. So it's really competitive. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. One thing I'll say, only man that goes up there without a script. Never know what I'm going to say. You know what the secret is? Listen to what everybody's saying, then you know what you can't say. So that eliminates that. And the first thing they say is the four-letter word. So the first guy that said he gets the biggest laugh, now everybody says it, now it's not funny no more. So what you do, you turn around. Now, if you don't have enough to say on the guy that you're roasting, go to another guy. Pick on somebody else. Say something else. And you know something? It works. These guys have writers. And I'm not against that. There's nothing wrong with that. They got guys come walking up and down the dais want to sell gags for $50. I'm just like a peddler. A bunch of peddlers here. So they come over to me. I say, you can't come over to me. I'll sell you. I'll give you $100. I'll give you a whole act here. But that's what they do. They go, you want a couple of jokes about Donald Trump? Want a couple of jokes about... And I've seen them go, hey, I've seen them go in the toilet.
No, but you tune right into the crowd. You know, it's been 100 years and millions of laughs here at the Friars Club, and you're responsible for a good part of them.
Well,
and thanks for being a member here.
We're gifted people. There are natural comics and there are mechanics. I happen to be a natural because it comes easy with me. A lot of these guys who are mechanics are wonderful, but if you interrupt them, they got to start from the beginning again. That could take 3 days. But we're all, you know, the Soupy Sales is here and all these guys, we are the last of us. There's nobody else like us. They wanted to clone me, I had to get big money. I said, no, you want to clone me, got to get big money, go back to the sheep. But hey, thank you, buddy.
Hey, Pat, I appreciate